I think he was an idiot to leave Jennifer Garner. She seems like the most pleasant person.
You don't know that.
Stories I've heard, that was all his fault. And then, maybe J-Lo more on his level. But when did this become Us Weekly?
Just look at the biggest views of anybody. I need money for supplies for when we go fucking ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting? We are not going ghost hunting.
I'm going. You can come or you cannot come. I'm going ghost hunting. How long before I end up dead or in jail?
For 48 hours.
Oh, really? Give me that long? I was going to say half an hour.
The unchosen ones.
Timer.
Time for timer.
You say he doesn't exist.
I just like the jingle now.
Did you ever look it up?
No. It's not a real thing.
It is a real thing.
You're not going to get me to look it up.
What?
Like I'm an idiot.
You think it's an elaborate plan that I've implanted a memory?
It's like a
from our childhood.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
It's like spyware.
No.
I'm going to load spyware on my thing. Time for timer. Skull and crossbones.
It was a little PSA cartoon. He taught you things in between Saturday morning cartoons. Time for Timer came on, and he taught you good things to eat, to be healthy, go outside and play, be careful of certain situations. You really
was in your head.
No. He was.
How great would that be if it was all in your head?
Then I would finally go see a shrink. I would finally go see a therapist if that actually happened.
I've never seen it. I've never heard it.
I'm going to put a graphic of him right here.
Hi there, Time for Timer, your roving reporter. I'm talking to you from inside a fantastic factory, your digestive system. You know what we build here? You! Not out of wood or metal, but out of food. You see, you are what you eat, from your head down to your feet. Things like meat and eggs and fish you need to build up muscle tissue. Uh-oh. Hello, appetite control, more protein. We need energy. Playing tennis today, Whoops.
Last show we did was right before they revealed the big news about Robert Downey Jr. coming back. I was I didn't hate it or love it immediately. I was shell shocked for a second.
Me too. I was like, what happened? What just happened?
Right. Because that was the last thing I would have expected.
Yeah, not at all.
Right.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, first I tried to make sure it was real because I didn't think it was real.
Right. Yeah,
and then I saw the video. I was
totally
I guess so.
Yeah. And then after I thought about it for a while, I'm like, yeah, okay, why not?
Yeah.
What am I going to say? That's going to suck. I'm going to bet against Robert Downey Jr. I'm not putting money against that.
No, I'd like to see it for sure.
It's going to be a challenge for him. I think that's what drew him to it, is the challenge, because not only does he have to play a guy in the same universe as his other most famous character, but he's got to be completely not himself. He cannot play Victor Von Doom.
No, snarky.
Yeah. Well, not even Tony Stark, but he can't play it like Robert Downey Jr. He's a great actor, but in every little part he plays, there's a little bit of Robert Downey Jr. in there, little quips, the way he says a line, there's a little bit of that little sarcastic, undertone in every character he plays, almost every character he plays. So he's going to have to not only not be Tony, he's going to have to not be RDJ.
It's like getting Ryan Reynolds to play Galactus.
Ryan Reynolds is Malcolm X. It's going to be difficult for him, but I think that's why he wanted to come back, because he said it would be very challenging. And we don't know if he's going to be, everyone thinks he's going to be a variant, but they said Victor Von Doom. That's what the Russo brothers said.
Yeah, but he could be a variant of Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, in the comics, there's a storyline where Doom becomes Tony Stark, or not becomes Tony Stark. He becomes Iron Man. He takes up the mantle of Iron Man after Tony has died, and the artificial intelligence in the mask, instead of
Jarvis.
Jarvis, yeah. Instead of Jarvis, I thought you were going to do Roadhouse.
No, you can't just throw it out. It'll lose all meaning.
Jarvis, and then Friday, and then actually Tony was the AI in Doom's.
That's too convoluted.
Well, it's going to get convoluted. So
yeah,
but we'll see what it's going to be. They pointed out that the graphic for the logo for Avengers Doomsday is all green, which you'd expect because, Dr. Doom. But then they showed the graphic for and the logo for Avengers Secret Wars, and it's Iron Man colors. So, but the Secret Wars logo for the comics, for the one that they're taking it off of, was also kind of the same colors. So I don't know if they're taking it from that or if they're doing it because we might get Iron Man back in Secret Wars.
Or they could just be throwing you off completely.
Yeah,
and it could be a different color by the time the movie comes out.
Yeah, maybe because it was just a preview.
Then I'm hearing Tom Cruise also is going to be a variant.
Variant, right? Well, people have been clamoring for that, for years.
But is that going to be like a big role or just a stupid throwaway thing?
Does Tom Cruise come on and do a stupid little small role? He did it in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
He did a cameo. If I do Tony Stark, I have to build my own suit and I have to jump off a cliff and with a real jetpack. Now listen, here's what I'm going to do. He's so intense.
You're going to build a suit.
Listen, I'm going to build a suit in my Scientology lab. And then we're going to really fly it right off a cliff. And we're going to have cannons and you're going to shoot at me with bullets, but we'll CGI in laser beams later.
I'm going to catch him in my mouth. So it's about Theta 7.
Can you put the E-meter in my Iron Man suit?
I'll have magic underwear on. He always has his magic underwear on.
Wait, no, magic underwear is the Mormons. You're mixing up
ridiculousness.
Don't mix up people's religions. They don't like that. But I always saw a parallel between Loki and Tony Stark. Two sides of the same coin, their trajectories kind of pass by each other, as Tony starts off as a really not good, he's not a good guy. He starts off as a selfish, playboy prick, right? And he evolves and starts to be, figure out what's really worth it in life, what means anything to him. And he becomes a hero for all the right reasons, not just for his own ego. Right. He becomes a real hero with that. He actually becomes a selfless hero over time. And Loki has the same thing where he starts off just completely self-consumed, ego, off the charts. Yeah. And he has a similar trajectory where he then figures out what's really worth it in life, why exist, all these thousands of years to do what? To rule over people. He ends up finding that's hollow and he wants more. And so now it's kind of cool that now maybe Tony Stark is going to be evil. And what's the remedy? Maybe Loki enters into this at some point because it is Secret Wars.
Yeah,
it is Secret Wars. You're going to have cosmic entities in some way, right? I mean, they fight on Battle World, right? So that in the comics, that was the Beyonder. Are they going to use the Beyonder? Are they going to? What are they going to do?
Spider-Man a big part of that too?
Spider-Man's
he's going to have to fight Tony. That's a big thing.
That's a huge thing. Yeah. Spider-Man's a very big part.
A lot of ways you can go with it.
There's a lot of, I mean, hopefully they have the black costume comes into play.
They got to do it.
Yeah. Because that's the old Secret Wars, but they got it. It's going to be a mesh of everything.
That's not Cosmic Spider-Man, right? That's
no. That's something totally different.
Yeah.
That's where he gets powers from Captain Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing. He's one of the most powerful heroes in Marvel when he has that black costume on. It might come down to a point where Loki has to show up as either Avenger Prime, which happens in the comics, or he has to maybe battle the Beyonder if there are going to be Beyonders or some other kind of cosmic entity involved. Because something has to whisk them all away to fight on this planet. Unless they're just going to take a
boat. Get on a boat. Just a raggedy rickshaw.
There's oars. You just have to paddle.
Like a Mortal Kombat kind of thing.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll just do battle. Will Battle World be on Earth? Will it just be a secluded area of Earth where they do this?
Southwest Airlines. The Hulk's just in the middle aisle.
Don't like Coach.
You can't put you near the window, Hulk. So what happened last time? Do you think this was the plan?
Of course not.
Is it a push at we're not doing well, so this maybe will
listen,
push
it's
people
an
back?
audible. The plan went to shit. The plan was Kang.
Kang was the plan.
Kang was the plan. The plan went to shit. You have to call an audible. You have to figure something out.
But why go with him and not just do Doom? on its
Right.
own.
Why not get like why not get like Cillian Murphy
Right, like
or somebody?
Where does RDJ come back into it?
Listen, we don't know. We don't know how this is going to go down. We don't know what path they're taking with this. They called it. I bet you anything. They said, let's call him up and he'll say no. And then we'll move on to
as a gag.
Yeah. And then we'll move on to the next thing because there's no way he's going to say yes.
But we got to ask.
Right. We got to check. We got to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Make sure that we have done everything possible to get the best person. And they call him up and he goes, yes. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? And that probably threw them for a loop. They probably didn't expect them to say yes.
I mean, what did they have in store for Doom? They weren't going to do Doom till after Kang? It was going to be down the road?
I don't know if Doom ever was going to come into this because this was going to be the Kang Dynasty, then Secret Wars, where I'm thinking Kang was going to be the big bad for Secret Wars.
Right.
So I don't think they would have brought in another... Doom is too heavy a hitter to bring in as a second fiddle.
Doesn't this work better with Fantastic Four? That you're introducing Fantastic Four?
Feige did an interview the other day where they were talking about how this all came together with Deadpool and Wolverine. He said, sometimes things just work out, because if the timeline was any different with Hugh Jackman availability, they were talking about Deadpool in a way where they like, maybe we need to pull this back. Maybe we need to do this at a different time. And then all of a sudden they were able to get Hugh Jackman and that set them off on a totally different path. And they were able to do the movie, a movie that they never even thought they were going to be able to, a movie they never even imagined before he was available. So now, all of a sudden Robert Downey Jr. is available. So that, whole different creative path.
Right. Lazy. That's the word. Lazy. I love the lazy thing.
What do you mean lazy? What does that even mean? Like
they don't know what it means. Like it's so easy to make a movie.
They could have easily got Cillian Murphy or any number of people.
It's not less hard.
It's not like people are blocking Kevin Feige's phone calls. They could have their pick of people. But if they really want Robert Downey Jr. and they think that this is going to be really interesting and this is going to be something that takes them on a path that they normally wouldn't have been able to go, then they're going to take that. It is a risk.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
It's a risk. It has to be.
It's a calculated risk, I'm sure.
Yeah. It has to be exceptional. It has to be really good.
They have to blow it out of the water.
He cannot remind you of Tony Stark in this. He cannot. Right.
They really could fucking.
And you're right. The Fantastic Four, it does make more sense because that's coming around.
But then you got Galactus.
Yeah, but they've always had cosmic entities to fight,
I know, but it's everything at once is like, that's a lot.
But there's going to be, with the Fantastic Four, I think there's going to be like timeline shifts and universe crossings because this is set in the, in what, the 50s or 60s?
60s.
Something like that, right? And eventually they're going to have to make their way to the main timeline. They're going to have to Captain America them somehow, either bring them from their universe into ours if they're in a different universe, or somehow advance them in time. Maybe that happens in Secret Wars, who knows? But it is cool that it's crossing over with them. And the leaked footage, did you see that?
Yeah.
They've been taking it off, like people have been putting on.
I put it on, they took it off.
They took it off, yeah. They've been
not on
canceling
TikTok.
It. Right. You can make it out though. I don't think that's really official footage though. I heard that they threw that together just for Comic-Con.
It gives you an idea.
It gives you an idea of what it's going to look like.
You got the voice, Pedro's voice he's going to use.
Right. You know what I really thought was funny is that it looked like those AI generated 1950s versions of things.
That's what people want to say. It's too much 1950s.
I thought that's what you guys wanted. You love 1950s renderings of modern day stuff.
What they want is to bitch.
It really looked like that with the voiceover and everything. It looked a lot like those. I was like, oh, this should go over. This should go over very well.
Nope. Think again.
But I thought that it was a very unique look, perfect for that.
I think it fits. It fits the characters.
It fits those characters, really perfectly. And somehow they'll get them into the current timeline.
Yeah.
But it looked very interesting
because they're campy. They're just campy. There's no way getting around that. That's a campy character. So don't try to throw them into throw them into the campy timeline.
Right. It can start. See, that's the best of both worlds because you can start them as they originally were, which was a bit campy, right? And then you can kind of evolve them into the current into the modern day MCU.
What they did with Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
What they did
Right.
with him.
Yeah, I mean, he had the little campy part in that movie where he was doing the war bonds and things like that.
Right.
You
But
know?
then he had to learn.
Yeah.
They're
good. Marvel is very good at catering to that and then also bringing it back into the more serious tone.
Right.
You know, they're very good at playing both sides.
He's been very good at like detailing a time, like a certain character. You know what I mean? Like every movie looks different.
Yeah.
According to the character.
That's true.
They're very good at that. Especially in the beginning, they were very good at that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The beginning of Captain America, the first one.
It had a feel.
Right.
No other movie did.
Right. It was they listen, they do a great job. I know that's an unpopular opinion that they do an amazing job with
Endgame. That's what they did. Not since Endgame.
Listen, you're not going to get that Endgame thing. That's like a unicorn, man. 23 films.
No.
23 films, and it was just
Well, it wasn't all great films either.
It was a perfect arc, though. It was just a perfect overall arc.
Good.
Like you got to say that. Okay, I saw that. That was amazing. I can't expect that again. That's too high a bar. All right. There's going to be more films coming out. Some you're going to love. Some you're going to hate, and some you're going to think, okay, that was okay. Right. You know, that's how it's going to be, like regular movies. That's how movies have always been. The Endgame, the Infinity Saga is the outlier. It's not the constant. All right. That was an amazing thing we saw. You can't expect that again and again and again.
But again, Iron Man 3, not great.
Right, exactly.
Iron Man 2, not great.
Exactly.
Thor 2, not great.
Right. Right.
There's a couple others in there that I wouldn't watch if I saw them on TV.
Yeah, I watch them all.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some that are like,
I know. No, I know what you mean, though.
Not
like,
great.
Like there are some entries in there that are not the best movies, but it was that overall arc.
Right.
That was so amazing. Like you didn't even care. Like this one's not that good, but I really got to see that end credit scene because it goes into the next one.
Yeah.
You know, it was that again. That is something that is kind of a once in a lifetime experience. I think for viewers and for creators. Like you just don't get that kind of that kind of leash creatively to just go through an entire 23 movie arc. Never been done before. Will never be done again unless you count like Friday the 13th.
The Expendables.
Well, I think Fast and the Furious is the second.
Those are all good. They're 10 for 10. Are you kidding me? It's the greatest arc of all time, story arc. About family.
Somehow in Secret Wars, someone says, wait a minute. What timeline are we in? Are we before or after Tokyo Drift?
That's what the TVA uses.
Or maybe you can get if Groot is in it. Like,
oh, yeah.
Tokyo Drift? That sounded more like Scooby-Doo.
Became a dog.
I love all of the proclamations of this will save the MCU. Deadpool and Wolverine saved the MCU. I thought No Way Home saved the MCU. And, you know, weren't there some other ones that saved the MCU?
They're all doing so poorly.
Black Panther, that saved the MCU. I heard it with a couple of films now.
It has to be white to save. That can't save it.
White savior.
White savior.
White saviors only.
Only. Yeah.
I think Ryan Reynolds said they're trying to get a Logan.
I already saw that.
Yeah, a Logan type movie for Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
That'd be badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a bulk, but he was skinny in that movie. He's got a bulk back up.
Well, I mean, it was probably out of left field. You know, they're like, hey, do you want to play Blade?
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, he's wearing the big vest anyway.
Yeah.
And how old is he now?
He's got to be in his 60s.
He's got to be, right?
Yeah. What is it? Over, under. 61.
Wesley Snipes is... Maybe he's not. Maybe he's in his 50s.
No. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, I say 58.
61.
61? Oh, you win.
Ooh.
62. 62, right under.
Nice.
Nice. Wow, he does not look it.
Well,
you know?
Black don't crack.
It certainly does not.
They age better.
Yeah, they do. That would be great though. That
I'd like to see that.
A Logan movie.
Yeah, I mean, you can rate that really dark.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You might want to edit that.
I didn't mean it like that. The movie.
And would it have to end with his death, like Logan? Would you have to kill him?
Yes. I mean, yeah. Otherwise, he just goes on living forever.
He deserves it. He deserves that film because without Blade, you know, who knows what would have happened? They were on. That was it. Blade had all their money was in Blade. If they had lost that, it's bankruptcy. If that movie doesn't do well, they would have been toast. the Marvel, completely toast. So it really kind of set it off. A lot of everyone says it's Iron Man. I mean, it was for the MCU, but in order to get to Iron Man, Blade had to do well, for them to keep making those movies.
I mean, he's got to fight I think you'd have to fight Dracula. They got to redo that.
Nah,
because he was in the third one.
Yeah, but it was. I know
it was terrible.
It was terrible. They got to figure out something else.
I mean, you can't do exactly Loki.
Well, you could do you could do maybe a god. There's a god of vampires or something. Something higher than Dracula. Whatever was the force that created monsters in the first place.
Or just he's gotten rid of all the vampires and now the humans are coming after
Maybe
him.
he has to fight Sam and Dean.
Oh, don't you get my hopes up. And they kill him, right? Sam and Dean go after
the
Blade.
Winchesters versus Blade?
I mean, come on. Just print the money.
100 million
print
first
money.
Weekend.
Are you kidding? Printing machine.
Who wins that?
Obviously, Sam and Dean.
The car wins. Somehow.
Sam and Dean win that.
Sam and Dean win that?
Easy.
Really?
Yeah.
They figure it out.
They figure everything out.
I mean, wouldn't he kill them in 2 seconds?
They kill him with just salt and some holy water. They kick his ass.
Oh, it's not even a good fight?
Well,
come on, you got to give some licks to Blade.
How long do you think you can make that movie? You start off with Sam reading about Blade in the paper, and he goes, I think we got something. And Dean goes, I don't think that's anything. He goes, no, I think it's something. He goes, all right, we'll check it out. And that's how you start it.
That would be the movie of the century.
Just call it The Winchesters.
No, you got to have Blade has to have billing.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Well, you do it like Superman, Batman, it'd be the Blade versus the Winchesters or the Winchesters versus Blade.
Yeah, but that always sounds stupid when you do a versus title.
Yeah, it always sounds stupid.
No, it's just like The Winchesters.
No, you got it. You got to get Blade.
Dawn of the Winchesters. Or the working title is The Winchesters.
How about Winchesters and then Blade of Destiny?
No, that sounds awful.
They had to get the Blade of Destiny in order to kill Blade.
No.
It's going downhill. It's going.
See, we had a good idea.
That's what. So we are just pitch guys, and then get out of the room.
Right, we're ideas guys. This is the idea. See,
don't go into the story.
No, get the check. Have them cut that check. Get the hell out of there.
Synopsis only. That's our production company. Synopsis only Productions.
You need a synopsis? We got one.
Right. Don't go deep into the character of the story. Just Winchesters versus Blade.
Go.
Ryan Reynolds was also on, I don't know where it was. I saw a post or something where he was saying that they need to get, he's really championing Channing Tatum to get his own Gambit movie because he put so much of himself into that character back when he thought he was going to do it. He was apparently the guy was heartbroken over it.
What's his deal with Gambit?
Maybe he just gave it so much time and attention back when he got excited about it, and then it never happened. It was just you always wish what it could have been, So I think maybe Reynolds, he sees that in him, and he wants to try to. I mean, basically, he is Marvel Jesus now after this movie, and he can probably get anything greenlit. And he did. He was really good in that. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
It was cool. They did it well.
Yeah, his movie in this little training video. Have you seen this little training video where? He's he's moving the bow and everything like that. He's using his dance training in this.
Similar.
Yeah, it's similar. The way he moves, the way he glides around. He's definitely utilizing that really good dance training that he has. Not that I know or saw those movies where he danced. I don't know anything about him.
I watch it every time it's on. The first one's very good. I don't care. It's a good movie. The first one.
What's it called? Magic
Mike.
Right. Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good movie.
And I'm not familiar.
Yeah. Bullshit. Only watch stuff with girls.
My wife likes it. No, I did see them all. They're good.
They are good movies. They are good movies. The first one's very good, honestly.
Right.
The second one's just a throwaway, but the first one's a good movie.
The first one's a decent film.
It's got a good story.
So yeah, I mean, he's a really amazing dancer, and he put it into his fighting style with the staff, the way he glides around with the sweeps, and the way he used the coat, which is exactly how Gambit used it. He looks the part. I don't know about like Deadpool said, who are your dialect coaches?
Oh yeah, they'd have to clean that up.
They'd have to clean that up. It would have to be completely...
A slight tang is fine.
It would have to be completely different than... Because what we got in that movie was very parody. You know, the way
some people do talk like that from that part of the
I
world.
guess, but he doesn't sound like that at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you buy it. How long does it take for you to buy into that? And can you deal with that for a whole film?
No. I didn't understand what he was saying sometimes.
Well, it was
really
on purpose.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You got to crisp it up a little bit.
You got to crisp it up, right?
But he has to have a
definitely has to have an
tang
accent.
to him.
Yeah, got to have a Cajun accent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's got to be something between that and can't be like Waterboy.
No, that's like the Cockney version of right. Louisiana.
Right. I'm sure he could get it down.
Yeah.
But they should. I mean, everyone loves Gambit. Who doesn't like Gambit?
I don't know who the main villain would.
It doesn't even have to be someone well known. You could get it if you get a good actor. You can use a B-list villain.
Right.
You could get someone in the rogues gallery that people aren't familiar with, and that actually gives the actor more leeway.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't really super familiar with how that character is, they get to kind of put themselves into it. So if you get like, I don't know, who could you get? If you get
Timothy Chalamet, I'm gonna get him into something. Poor kid.
He's got it really tough.
He's got to get some work.
Yeah. No breaks for that guy. Jessica Jones on Netflix. It was the David Tennant did the villain Kilgrave. He did Kilgrave, where he tells people what to do and they just do it. Before I saw that, I never was familiar with that. So I'm sure David Tennant put his twist on that character, because he's such a good actor. And now that's how I know that character is from him, because I never really read it in the comics. But it's a really good opportunity for an actor to put your stamp on something that doesn't already have a lot of locked down preconceived notions of the way they are. So, because really the star of that's going to be Gambit. You're not going. Yeah, you're not going to see a Gambit movie for Gambit's villain.
Well, some people will. There's people.
Well, overall, though, it's going to be about him.
Gambit experts.
That staff is only 11 3/4 inches long, and it's supposed to be 12.14 inches long.
Standard deck of cards is 52. I saw 51 come out of that hand.
Oh, I got it. His nemesis is David Blaine.
I hope he kills him. Bad magicians. He just goes up killing bad magicians.
That'd be a great storyline for him. He just goes to Atlantic City, Vegas, and he kills all bad magicians. I'm gonna make a name for myself here.
Ooh, a buffet.
That's where he says it, at a buffet. I'm gonna make a name for myself here.
Cajun buffet.
You just tell people what you saw here today.
No, you get out of here.
At the Caesar's Palace buffet. Speaking of D-list villains, Penguin, right? I've always thought of him as a lower tier
D-list?
Yeah, he's a bullshit. I've always hated him the most. I hate the Penguin. Hate it.
But doesn't Batman use him for like information a lot?
Yeah, he's a mob informant, right?
So that's important.
Yeah, it's important, but I just hate him as a standalone villain. I always think there's got to be something else with him. This is easily the best rendition I've ever seen with Colin Farrell. He makes me want to watch the show because he was so good in that movie. So when I heard the Penguin was going to be in the Batman, I was like, oh, I was like, come on, it's got to be better than that. Yeah, I know it was going to be mob centric heavy, but I just never. It's probably from the old Adam West Batman.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah, I just hated. He was always the lamest villains. Umbrella, he's just so stupid.
Shot stuff at him.
Right,
there's always different stuff shooting at him.
Right, and then the Danny DeVito version
that was weird.
That was bad. I mean, that movie works because of Michelle Pfeiffer, and Christopher Walken. Right. It works because of me. A friend of mine said I have to do my Christopher Walken. I don't know if it's good or not.
Everyone has a decent Christopher Walken.
I know. I think like infants do Walken now on TikTok.
They're all decent.
He's very easy to do. But yeah, that movie is totally Walken and Michelle Pfeiffer. Like Danny DeVito's. I love Danny DeVito. He's magnificent. He's a national treasure.
I don't love that movie.
I know you've always said that.
Yeah.
Batman Returns is a good movie.
I'm not a fan of the director.
He did the first Tim Burton.
Yeah.
But
I
he
like the
did
first Batman. I don't like anything else he's done.
You don't like Beetlejuice.
I like Beetlejuice too.
Okay.
Now I'm acting like one of those Star Wars idiots. I don't like him except for Batman and Beetlejuice.
Your whole argument is falling
and
apart.
Edward Scissorhands.
Right, you like that too.
All right, I like him. See, but I was wrong. I admit I was wrong.
Very good. That's growth. See? Look at that. Yeah. Let's see. Learn from the more you know.
Put that in there. I'm a changed man.
A Tim Burton convertant. Oh, he was supposed to do the Nicolas Cage Superman.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah, I think it would have been bad.
That would have been.
It would have been bad.
That would have rivaled like Zack Snyder.
I think it would have been way worse than anything Snyder did.
Snyders.
I don't think it would have worked. I think it would have been really, really tragic. I really think it would have been a tragic Superman. I mean, I love the whole Nick Cage coming back in the Flash and all that stuff. That was really cool. Yeah. But it's a novelty. I'm glad that movie never happened.
That wasn't even Nick Cage, it was digital.
No, I know. He showed up for one scene, and then they scanned his ass
him.
and did whatever they wanted with it. Which I don't. Yeah, he was kind of pissed about that too.
I guess he didn't know. We got what we needed.
Yeah, he was supposed to just be standing there like Christopher Reeves was, like that. That's what they told him it was going to be. But instead, he's fighting the giant spider. And
no spiders, guys, right? Nope, no spiders.
Somewhere that producer, Peters, was jerking off when he saw the spider.
There it is. My dream. My life's work.
But yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. But the Penguin, though, looks really interesting. And I love that it only takes place 1 week after. They said 1 week after the Batman.
And it's supposed to go into the next movie.
Yeah. And Pattinson is rumored to, I think it might have been.
They said he's going to show up.
Confirmed. Yeah. He's going to be in it somewhere. So you got to watch this. If you're into this Batman, you got to watch it.
They're Supergirling it. They're going to keep teasing Superman. So you have to watch that stupid show.
That's so true about that show.
Oh, every week.
Every week you thought maybe Superman was going to come in. It was
a hint every week.
Right. They did a great job of that. Yeah. But I actually enjoyed the Supergirl show. The first couple of seasons. It went off the rails. It went real. But it was good. The first few seasons.
Wasn't bad.
Was not bad.
Yeah.
It was not bad. Quality, decent quality television show.
Yeah.
You know?
It was WB level.
Right. Yeah. It was good for them.
Yeah.
It was on. Yeah. They did a good job with The Flash and Green Arrow. Those shows were like the best. In terms of superhero weeklies, because remember what we had before that, Superboy. Oh, that was tragic. We loved it though. But if you go back and watch Superboy, bad. Smallville raised the bar.
No, sure. Birds of Prey.
Oh, terrible.
One of the worst things.
Yeah.
Ever.
So you gotta watch. You gotta watch this in order to stay in. Conformed in this Elseworlds version, which I still think was a huge mistake. It should have been the launching pad for the new DC. Should have been, but whatever. I guess they want to keep it. This guy wants to keep Batman grounded. He doesn't want any cosmic stuff coming out. He wants to keep it on just a Batman ground level. He doesn't want any there will be magic, I think, at some point if they do Ra's al Ghul or something like that, but they don't want to have Superman, Green Lantern, that kind of space magic, that kind of stuff. I don't think he wants that.
It's a big missed opportunity, though.
I know. Well,
really
I think it was. But I'm totally down to watch wherever they go with this Elseworlds Batman, because in my opinion, it's the best Batman. It's the best pure Batman movie ever made, in my opinion. Yeah.
He's the best Batman.
And when I say that, I mean a Batman movie, because The Dark Knight is a better movie than The Batman, but The Dark Knight is the Joker movie. That movie's about the Joker. Batman's a second fiddle in that film. He really is. That movie is incredible and stands solely on the shoulders of Heath Ledger.
They should have called that movie they could have called it The Joker.
Yeah, they could have. They could have. That would have been bold. Yeah. But, especially when everyone was expecting Heath Ledger to fail. Yeah. Because I remember he'll never be as good as Nicholson. Yeah. Yeah. That shows how much people people don't know shit. People don't know shit. They really don't. So many, and then everyone hated. I said that Ben Affleck was going to be a bad Batman. Wrong.
Yeah, I thought that would be dumb.
Yeah, I thought it would be awful. He was great. He was
good.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, he was better. He was way better than anyone could have possibly thought. He gets a little older. Watch out if he, survives survives these marriages that he keeps getting into. He could totally do Dark Knight Returns. Unless Michael Keaton's first, though. If he gets it, that's what I want.
I mean, I think he's almost aging out of it, though.
Well, Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
No, because Batman Beyond, he gets really old. He could still do that with the cane and everything. So you could always have him for Batman Beyond.
I still see a bigger guy for that older Batman.
That's why I'm thinking Affleck would be good, because he is that bigger, broader. Batman.
He fits it better.
Yeah, and he actually kind of wore the suit already because
Yeah.
that Snyder suit was so Dark Knight Returns. It was a great suit. Really good suit.
It might be the only way to bring it back is through that vehicle.
He's going to need it, I think, Affleck, because he doesn't look, the man does not look good right now. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm like, he looks like he's in a bad mental place.
He always looks like that.
Just looks like, he's just like trouncing through life like that, just dredging through life. He just looks so beaten down, And I don't know if that's who he keeps, because I think he was an idiot to leave Jennifer Garner. I mean, what a moron. She seems like the most pleasant person.
You don't know that.
Yeah, come on, man. You leave Jennifer Garner, there's probably something wrong with you. I'm not putting that out there. I am speculating that was all his fault. All right. From the stories I've heard, that was all his fault. And then, maybe J-Lo more on his level. But when did this become Us Weekly?
Just look at the biggest views of anybody. Just say J-Lo.
Let's just switch the whole show over to celebrity dating.
Can he hashtag J-Lo? We'll get the most views ever.
I heard J-Lo called Garner a cunt. Just make shit up.
Me too. I heard that. What are your top 5 television shows, superhero television shows? Not cartoons.
It's got to be. You want me to go 1 to 5? I'm kind of thinking of the best one first and then go from there.
I have a 1 to 4. I don't have
1
a
to 4.
5th.
TV, it's got to be Smallville.
That's my 2.
That's your 2? I would go Smallville. Then The Flash was really good those first couple of seasons. Really was. The first couple.
You're forgetting something.
Oh, maybe I am.
Yeah.
The 90s Flash.
No.
How dare you? I'm forgetting something. Superhero TV shows.
Very good show. We loved. That's probably, I think it's my 1. It's just a hair above Smallville.
Give me a hint.
We were just talking about the character.
Is it in the Batman family? Oh, Gotham.
How good was Gotham?
Kind of forget about Gotham.
That was a great show.
Gotham was very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I play it the hair above Smallville for me.
I still go Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's more fun. No, I did like Smallville was just, I had to watch Smallville every week.
Because you like Superman.
Gotham, I would miss 1 or 2 and watch them on recording.
Yeah.
Smallville, I had to watch first chance every week.
All right.
That's just because it's Superman. Though.
Yeah,
that's why.
Superman. But take that out of it. Don't you think Gotham was a better show?
Probably.
Better written?
Probably. Like if you're just going based on the, just on the metrics,
right?
Just on the technicality and the artistry. Yeah, I guess Gotham's a better quality show.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Smallville to the desert island.
No. What's the better film? Don't try to sneak out of it. What's the better film?
I'm bringing both of them with me to the desert island.
I would take only Zack Snyder movies with me.
The boat comes to rescue you.
Wait. I'm almost done.
I guess you'll be there because you'll still be watching the Snyder cuts.
Yeah. I'll be halfway through. I think Smallville's 3. Watchmen.
Oh, I don't count that.
Why not?
That's not a weekly seasonal show. That was a 1 season special. No, you're not counting that.
Why can't I count that?
You can't count that.
I'm counting it.
This is ridiculous. I'm not playing your fucking games anymore.
Take it to the courts. We'll go.
How can you count that? That's not a week. That's not.
It was weekly.
No, it was a mini series. That's not a seasonal show.
I'm counting
miniseries.
miniseries.
You did not put miniseries in the category.
I'm putting miniseries in there.
After the fact, now my whole list is ruined.
No, it's not. Where would you put that? If you could put that in there.
Oh, but now I got to think of other miniseries.
There's not any other miniseries.
Yes, there are.
It's not in my top 5. There are none others.
Well, now I got to think.
Let me
just
go
rethink.
Well, then you're not going to I put The Boys in there too.
The Boys it's seasonal. It's many seasons.
So that's okay.
Yeah, The Boys. Oh, I forgot about The Boys too. Wow.
That's my 4.
Oh, The Boys is fantastic.
I got Gotham, Watchmen.
The Boys is better than Smallville.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, The Boys is better than Smallville.
And Gotham.
Yeah. Boys is number 1.
Interesting.
Yeah. Boys is number 1 for me.
That's my 4.
That's another show I have to watch right away.
Is it just because of the wow
just
factor?
So well done and written, and the acting is just top tier. That's number 1 for me. I'm probably forgetting about others.
Well, I mean, I don't have a 5. I never watched the the Flash and the
Could
Arrow.
have fucking prepared me for this segment.
I like, well, this is better.
Pants are totally down.
Please don't.
Not again.
YouTube's going to take us off again.
That was in episode 2. Everyone go watch that.
There wasn't that many others. I mean, you got this Flash, the Arrow versus.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the.
I was only thinking of network TV.
Well, it's
But
everything.
you definitely can't count Watchmen. That's a miniseries.
Counting it.
No, you can't count it.
What are you going to do about it?
You have to tell mom. Right?
Tell her.
Fuck you then.
I'm putting it in there.
Calling mom. She'll take my side.
What about Umbrella Academy?
Oh, fucker, another one. See, I keep forgetting about
Does
this.
that make your
There's
top
so much
5?
stuff out now. I can't even keep. Umbrella Academy's fantastic. Did you watch any of the new ones?
The first
yet?
3 episodes.
First 3. I saw the first 2.
Yeah.
I really thought that I was going to watch the first one and get bored, but they just get me. They just suck me in. And it's mind bending stuff. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on right now, but I want to find out.
Right.
You know, it's so off the rails.
It's kind of slow and fast at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
It kind of
it's
I
a
know what
slow
you mean.
pace, but it's also there's a lot going on.
Because you're
writing's
constantly thinking of like what is this gonna how does this relate to the other scene
Right.
and what am I forgetting about previous seasons that they're talking about right now? Like it gets very complicated. Some of the things they do, you're like, what acid trip did the writer have to think of that? Just so crazy. It's such a crazy show.
There's such stupid characters, and it's such a complex plot line. Like it's a weird mix.
Right. The thing I have noticed a little bit in these first couple, though, is that, I mean, maybe because they're new, their powers aren't very consistent. Like, it seems like they've all leveled up a bit.
They don't really explain that.
But they don't explain it that
Maybe they will.
Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But it's not a consistent use of their power. Sometimes that irks me. Like, they could have just done that right there and gotten out of that. But they don't for some reason, whatever. It's still really, really good show. It ends with this season, I believe. This is it. Which is, I think,
how many more times can
I think
do this?
I think this will be a good send off because so far I'm really enjoying it. Really good.
Once the dad gets into it, that's when things get out of hand.
Right.
Everything's fine until the dad gets involved. And then it goes real weird, quick.
It gets very, very odd. Yeah. And you know what? I was kind of remember when we showed it was David Cross, the new people that were joining David Cross. What's the other one's name?
Megan Mullally
and
her husband.
Whoa.
What fuck was that?
Dummy just kicked in. Just now.
Wow.
I'm freaking out, man.
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick Offerman. Yeah, those. I thought that they were going to do kind of the duo from the first season with Mary J. Blige and the other guy. That duo from the first season. They were the agents that were after them.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be kind of like
agents.
that, and they kind of are like that. The two of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're what are they? Gene and Gene
Gene and
spelled
Gene,
differently.
yeah.
It's fantastic. It's just like little detail like that.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
They're good together.
They're really good together. I
Yeah.
bet you there's some improv going on between the two of them. Both coming from TV shows like that. A little bit of Tron Ares news. They have some more story details. They're saying that it's going to be more of the digital character, which I guess is Jared Leto. I'm not sure. He's like the star of the movie. The digital character is going to come into the real world, and we're going to have to try to deal with that here instead of the other way around. So some people are upset about that because, I mean, I guess that means it's like, it kind of takes away like the whole hook of that series that you want to go into the world of Tron. I think as long as they do like a decent amount of time in Tron world and don't axe it out altogether, it'll be fine. And then have that cool kind of, mixing the fish out of water with current modern day dangers of AI type of story, seeing how we did, because at the end of the last one, she came out of Tron. Olivia Wilde's character came out of the Tron world and is living in the real world. We don't know how much they're going to be playing off of. I hope it's still in continuity. I hope the first two aren't gone. So I hope it still plays off that.
Like Splash with computers. Is that what we're doing?
I love Splash. That's a great movie.
Sure.
That's a great movie. One of the best comedies.
You think there'll be a scene where he's getting like a parking ticket for his bike? Like,
The Tron
sorry, you
bike?
can't park that here. What is that?
It's taking up 4 spaces, and he just right angles out of there. But I'm waiting on the, I just can't wait, because if it is like the story that fans don't like, I just can't wait for someone to go Disney ruin Tron. I just can't wait to hear that, because there's going to be people out there that don't know that Disney made Tron, the original Tron. There's people, there are. There are people out there that probably post on Instagram something, Disney ruined Tron.
There's probably people who think Disney's like a new thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're just from 2000 on Disney.
Right. There's so many, in the movie business, you hear about these stories about producers handing down notes, studio notes that are just ridiculous. Not every change in movies is because of Kathleen Kennedy. Right?
She gives all notes to all movies.
She has a magic deck of Post-its.
No, it's one of those shake things. She writes on it. It's a speak and spell.
With that voice. There's been one of my favorite ones is Back to the Future. They gave them a note that they wanted to change the title from, this guy didn't like the word future, this executive. He's like, just didn't like that word. And they told them to change it to Spaceman from Pluto.
Jesus
Can
Christ.
you imagine? So you know what they did? Like the brilliant way to handle it. They called back the guy, the executive, and left a message on his voicemail saying, hey, we got your note. Or maybe they typed it to him. I can't remember. They sent him a message saying, hey, we got your note. Hilarious. What a joke. Funniest thing we've heard all week. That was great. And so the guy, after he gets that, is like, doesn't say anything about it again because, he was kind of embarrassed, because they thought it was a joke. It was so bad that they played it off as a joke. And then that shut him up.
What an asshole.
Right. Spaceman from Pluto. Can you imagine?
Let's get the word future out of it. It's too on the nose what the movie's about.
And they never even go to the future in that movie.
Or Pluto. Where's Pluto coming?
And then another great one is from Mel Brooks. They kept telling him in the producers that they wanted to get rid of Gene Wilder. And he just kept going back to them saying, the kid's gone. Forget about it. And they just he's like, the best way to handle the executives is just keep saying yes. Yeah. Just say yes to everything. So he said, we're going to get rid of that kid. We're going to get rid of it. And then eventually the answer is, we have so much shot. We can't get rid of him now. It'll cost us too much money. And then it just leaves them alone. And that was how Mel Brooks handled it.
That wouldn't have worked with Back to the Future because, they already didn't they have that whole thing taped before Michael J. Fox got there?
They didn't have the whole movie filmed yet. They had a lot of scenes filmed.
Yeah.
And some of the scenes you see in that movie are actually with, what was his name? Stolk? Eric Stoltz? Stuffin?
No, we're getting further away from it.
Calder. Eric Stoltz. That's it.
It's close.
No, that's it.
That's it?
That's it. Stoltz. Yeah. Eric Stoltz. They had a lot of the reaction scenes you see is Stoltz on the other side. They just kept using that. They even say that when he punches Biff in the diner, that is actually Stoltz's fist. A lot of people say that's him. And he's actually in there. So I only have one book for comic time. Where the fuck did he go? All right, screw it. I'll do it myself. Just one book this week. Secret Wars #9, the 2017 Sarah Pichelli variant, 125. I think people are sleeping on this one a little bit. It might be the only real one-to-one scenario that we get in Secret Wars where Miles comes into the 616 universe. Everyone's trying to figure out what Doom / Iron Man variant or storyline is going to be the one that they actually use in the movie. I think it's just going to be an amalgamation of a bunch of stuff. But as far as like an actual thing that might happen that was in this series, we might actually get this moment. Peter showing Miles the way in, saying, "You're going to do great, kid." just a really killer cover. These are, they're not that easy to find in comic book stores. I don't really ever see one in a store, but there's a decent amount of listings on eBay where you can get it for around, in good condition, $60-$70. If graded, they're usually into the hundreds. But I don't think a lot of people are really paying a lot of attention to this one. Where the hell did you go?
I had to help the Winchesters with a thing.
Oh, that's acceptable.
Fucking demons. Did you see the new trailer for that movie Saturday Night about Saturday Night Live?
I saw, I saw a little bit of it. You texted me about it. It looks really interesting. Like it's about the very first airing of Saturday Night Live.
That whole, I don't know if it's the whole day or.
I love that. I love that whole like behind the scenes documentary, docudramas or docu-movies about like how something started like that on TV or in the movies. Those are always pretty good. You want to watch a trailer?
Yeah.
Hey, free comedy show, plenty of seats, plenty of tickets left, guys. Free show. Fuck's sake.
So,
almost 50 years.
big night.
That's crazy. I thought it was like the Lonely
Look, my name is Lorne Michaels. I'm the producer of Saturday Night.
The whole night?
Yeah, the whole night.
Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner, Dan Iyek, how the fuck do you pronounce it?
Really? You know, I was thinking, why don't we punt? We should run the dress rehearsal and claw back a win next Saturday.
We can't, Dick. It's a live show.
We're just not ready.
Doesn't matter that we're ready. It matters that it's 11:30. That's when we go on.
Lauren, all I'm trying to do is give you advice. It's in everyone's best interest, mainly yours.
Sorry, was that a threat?
Look around, Lauren. You haven't locked the script. Your crew is in open rebellion.
Fuck you! Fuck you! I definitely fuck you.
The writers on the 17th floor tied a belt around Big Bird's neck and hung him from my dressing room door.
So tell me how you fit into this ensemble.
Oh, is this an ensemble?
NBC makes more money playing reruns of The Tonight Show.
NBC is lucky to have something as relevant as this show.
Lauren, they don't even want it.
That's logical, Dick. That's why they're paying us all to be here.
I mean, Lauren, 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who've never made anything. Do you ever stop and wonder why they said yes? A counterculture show starring total unknowns with zero narrative and even less structure. They want you to fail.
We just have to make it to air.
Am I still in the show?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, tripped over my penis.
Chevy Chase.
That guy is good as Chevy Chase. That is really good.
It's Jason Reitman.
Jason Reitman's directing it, so that's awesome. He's just like his dad. He's got that same style his dad had. You know,
Or if it's all going to take place right before the first show. Or?
I don't know if that's the whole movie.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that George Carlin was the very first host of Saturday Night Live, the first episode. So he'll be in there too. That's great. I'm totally gonna watch. I remember Saturday Night Live when they used to do the anniversary years where they would make a logo and it would have the number inside. I remember 10, then 15.
I remember 25.
25. It's gonna be 50.
We've seen almost all of it.
That's crazy. 50. Like I remember it was 15, like it was last week. That little logo with the 15 in the middle. Now it's like I was doing the math the other day and I was like, there's no way it's 50.
That means I'm no.
I was like, that can't be 50. But it's like, I'm almost 50. So it's right there, you know? That's just crazy. It's such a mind fuck. How you like? Where did that all go?
I think Reitman's good. He's going to be good. You know who really would be good for that is the guy who did
Quentin Tarantino. Everyone's dead before the show airs.
Really weird, Joe. The guy who does the Wall Street movie.
Oh Oliver North. That's not it.
No.
Oliver Stone.
No, not Oliver Stone.
Not Oliver Stone?
No, not Wall Street. The movie about the housing crisis.
Oh, yes.
The one we like.
Adam McKay, The Big
Adam
Short.
McKay. He would have done a good job with that.
He would have done a good job with that.
That kind of a style.
Right. Really, a real world You know,
Right.
like something that really happened, but in a more sensationalized way.
Right.
You know, he's good at that.
And in a short time span like that.
Right.
That would
No,
be
I'm
cool.
sure Reitman will do a
No,
good
he'll
job
do good.
though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, it's all those people that his dad worked with were on. You know, Bill Murray, you know, Dan Aykroyd. Those guys were from that show. He knows that style.
There's a great movie about not the groundlings, the Lampoons.
National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen that movie?
I think I have.
Because that movie has that guy has a lot to do with why Saturday Night Live started.
Oh, really?
He's
Okay.
like, he really
so he'll
founded
be in
it.
this then.
Yeah, well, he founded SNL and then he kind of quit and then kind of got it stolen from him in a way.
So you're saying Lorne Michaels did a Ray Kroc?
Kind of, yeah, really. It really did. The cast was already there. They were all Lampoon people.
I wonder if they're going to show that in this movie. I wonder if
I don't know.
I wonder if they'll show that in this movie, or are they going to make it look like it was all Lorne?
I don't know. Depends.
Interesting.
They might, but that guy, he started really all of it. And then
Really?
he kind of got pushed out at the end.
Huh. What is that, a documentary?
No, it's a movie. It's like a comedy. It's really good. It's on Netflix.
But it's the true story, right?
It's a true story, yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, he created the Lampoons at Harvard, and then they
Right.
went on, made all the movies. But it's upset. It doesn't end well for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
We'll taste it.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Glenn Ross, and they're doing a new one, a revival, and I think it's actually going to be. It's not a movie, right? It's Broadway.
It says Broadway.
Broadway, right? Wow, that's going to be crazy. So they have so far Kieran Culkin, Bob Odenkirk, and Bill Burr. That is just going to be crazy. And then they got to fill out. They got a couple more parts they got to fill out. Who does the Alec Baldwin? Do you think Bill Burr does the Alec Baldwin? Probably,
I
right?
bet you Odenkirk's the bald one.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would have thought, you know.
How about you get Kevin Spacey to reprise his role?
Both of those guys have had a tough time lately. Baldwin and Spacey.
Yeah, just don't have any guns on.